Hey all, welcome back. I'm Kurt. This is Trenton. You're down here at the SLB Basement Bourbon Bar, and we've got a fantastic show planned today. I'm not sure if Trenton is quite on board with this one. This is not 100% my idea. This is our buddy Kyle from our patron group. It's his idea, but I jumped on board. I jumped on board with it like right now. My mind started twirling. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, here's the thing. Kyle had a great idea. I'm exhausted. Kyle had a great idea. I didn't know it was going to be taken to this extreme. Okay. Any day that I get a text before I'm about to come over that says, bring your baby Hudson.
Yeah, bring the baby Hudson.
My heart starts palpitating a little bit. It's usually not a good sign.
Well, before we get started, just let me say this. There's one of the neighbors out here mowing the lawn, so Kyle, doing the editing. I apologize for that. I know you're going to listen to that. You're going to text me and go, who the heck was making the noise? It's the neighbor mowing the lawn. Now, I try to give everybody and our neighbors our schedule, when we're going to be filming, so they can be somewhat respectful, but no, of course not. What are you going to do? He's mowing. Anyways, Kyle put it out there.
You should go out there and help him to get it done quick.
That's truly what I should do. If I was a good neighbor and a good person, I should go out there and do the weed whacking while he's mowing.
Be like, hey, Chief, I'll follow behind you. We can get the nice zigzag pattern going. It'll look great, and then we can be done with it sooner.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll think about that. I'll see how I feel after we get this video done. Well, Kyle put it out there, and it was a simple statement. Can you guys make a bad bourbon better? Now, don't take anything offensively here, please. Everything's opinion oriented. It's whiskey. It's kind of like food. Some people like liver. Most of the people do not.
You don't like liver anymore after you got sick, right?
Yeah, no. It's healthy for you. It's really healthy for you, and I really don't mind it per se. I don't reach for it, but I did make some, and I had it for dinner. That night, I got the flu, and I don't think I'm going to approach it again for quite some time, if ever, for that matter.
I would rather eat liver than drink the baby.
Let's get past that. I'm sure there's folks out there that really like this bourbon. If you do, that's great. Trent and I have no problem with that. We never do.
Let us know in the comments.
Please.
I'm genuinely curious, not to say you have bad taste or anything. I'm just curious if maybe we got a bad bottle or if we're just overreacting to it. I don't know.
Well, my humble opinion, I personally feel this Hudson Baby Bourbon Whiskey is, I'd have to think long and hard, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the worst bourbons I've ever tasted. For me. That's just for me. So as soon as Kyle put that statement out, can you guys make a bad bourbon better? First thing I thought, let's give it a roll. Okay. Let's give it a roll. So what I did, Trenton, let's start. I just poured you a little bit neat.
Okay.
And I got a few ideas here, and I'm hoping you express some ideas as we're going through. I didn't ask you to prepare for this show. I didn't ask you to do anything.
No, you did not.
I just asked you to show up with your Hudson bottle. So we have to acclimate ourselves a little bit with what we have here. So this is just a neat pour.
Okay.
So like anything when you're cooking, you taste a little bit of ingredients, so you know exactly what you're doing. We're going to taste what we have going on here, whether you like it or not, right?
Yeah, I don't like it.
So here we go. Cheers to you all.
Man.
Yeah, I want you, for the good folks out there, to describe what you're smelling right now, because you are...
If you've ever inhaled one of these just for fun, these are the king size or the jumbo. We have a jumbo in there too.
Yep.
This almost smells better. I'm not gonna lie to you. This has such a rancid woodiness to it with Sharpie in it.
That's what I would personally say.
I'm not doing that to be funny. I'm genuinely saying
that's
that
what
this
I would say. I would say rancid oak would be me. That's fine. But yeah, I just did that for kicks. Sorry about that, bud.
No, this is a good comparison.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't. All right, put your glass up here. The first thing I got, it probably won't help a lot, but we're gonna start with the core basics here. I got just a little bit of water right here.
Okay.
I got a 1/4 teaspoon measurement. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. We're gonna try that. Swirl that. Look at there, still held true.
Then this will
swirl that around a little bit and just see if adding a little bit of water. This is only 92 proof, so it doesn't really need to be proofed down. But I'm just curious to the fact if just a tiny bit of water would change your flavor profile just a touch.
And I honestly don't know. I don't know if we've done it for a video before. If my mind's escaping me right now, it's entirely possible. If I've ever added water to my whiskey before.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have.
I have, just for science sake.
Yeah.
Because I do watch other YouTube channels that specifically deal with Scotch whiskeys, and that's a big thing, you know, with Scotch whiskeys and so forth. I don't think I've really ever done it for bourbon.
Okay.
Mainly just single malts.
I don't know. There's something about it, and I'm not like a purist by any means, but I just want it as is.
I understand.
I don't want to have to do anything to mine to make it drinkable or to make it better.
What you're saying is you're a neat guy. That's it. You want your bourbon.
I am a neat guy. I'm also lazy, so not going out of my way to add or anything once I buy it is my speed.
So you prefer whiskey neat.
Yep.
Period. All right. Let's give this a little taste.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. The nose doesn't smell any better.
I don't know.
That make it worse?
I'm just gonna say that. I think it made it worse. Kyle, I'm failing you right now, my man. I think that made it worse. That's an honest opinion.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that made it worse.
An honest opinion. That's an honest opinion. All right, let's move on. That was a fail.
The only thing that I think this did is take away some of the sour that was kind of battling against that tonicity. Is like tannic, if I wanted to say, like, is tonicity a word?
I think you just created it. If it's not, it should be. Let's put it that
honestly,
way.
that sounds like it should be a word.
It should.
It takes away that like tannic note.
Yeah.
And it just makes it more woody.
It does. That rancid oak really comes to the forefront.
Yeah, like the sour's gone and it's just like full wood.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right, the next thing I did, very simple, guys. I just put it over a block of ice. So all this is the Baby Hudson bourbon poured over a nice clear block of ice. Would you like to go first, or should I?
Yeah, I'll go. I don't know why I'm smelling it.
It's been sitting in there about 5, 6, 7 minutes, I'm guessing. Something like that. Not a long time.
Okay, actually, the ice does something. It makes it less rancid wood and more like a wet cardboard kind of a thing.
Yes. Trenton's right. My opinion would be it improved it slightly. It's still not something that I would reach for and put it over ice and go, hallelujah, I found a good drink here.
Yeah.
But it is better than neat, and it is better than the neat with the water.
I'm wondering if the fact that it's warm and when it's cold here, it does something to kind of neutralize some of the off-putting flavors in there a little bit.
It could be, and it has been watered down just a touch.
Yeah.
It's been this whiskey has been over the ice for probably 8 minutes. I mean, I put it in right when we were getting ready to start, so 8-10 minutes, something like that tops. So to be honest with you, that's it's an improvement. Okay, that's an improvement.
I didn't think it was going to do anything.
I personally didn't
so
either.
I'm glad I'm glad we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one might get you there. Guys, I just mixed up an old fashioned before we started. There's no reason to take the time in the middle of a video. So what you have in this glass is 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, 2 dashes of orange bitters. And for the sweetener, I went ahead and used my my Crown barrel aged maple syrup.
Okay.
You know, which I like. I like this on occasion. A lot of times I'm a Demerara guy in an old fashioned, but I like this barrel aged maple syrup. And I have to be honest with you, Trenton. Normally, when I make one for Trenton, our palates are we're good with like a 1/4 ounce of sweetener.
Yeah.
You know, and in a lot of places you go, they use the full 1/2 ounce of sweetener and they make it a little sweet, so it kind of, you know, it appeals to everyone. Yeah. But, you know, people that drink bourbon quite a bit, that seems to be a little bit much. I will tell you here, because of what we're using, I mixed about 1/3 of an ounce. I didn't get to the half. But I let that glug over just a touch over that quarter ounce line.
Okay. At first, I thought for some reason I heard 3/4.
Yeah, no, I probably.
And I'm like, ooh, we're going back to the original, the original SLB old fashioned days.
The more the sweetener, the better back then, right?
Okay.
So I'll go first on this one, and guys, it's just a standard old fashioned. So let's see if we come up with something where we can utilize a bottle that we really just don't like, because the last thing you want to do is spend money for something and dump it down a drain or something like that. Let's find something that we can do.
Yeah. I'd be curious, how many drain pours have you had in your career? And when I say career, I just mean like your journey with whiskey.
Well, to be honest with you, at the very beginning, I was too quick on the trigger to pour something down the drain, to tell you the truth. I don't even remember the last time I did it now. So I try to come up with other ways and other things. That's doable.
Honestly,
that's doable.
If you were to tell me that you use that like Crown maple syrup, because I know that maple syrup has a little bit more of like a woody type of a thing
it's
to
barrel
it.
aged.
I would honestly venture to say that you used a really generic bourbon like an Ancient Age or something that really doesn't impart a whole lot of proof, that doesn't impart a whole lot of flavor to it, and is just more of a neutral partner in the concoction here.
Yeah.
I don't get any of the Sharpie notes. No. I don't get any of the wood.
No.
If I do get a little bit of the woodiness, it's like, I don't know if that maple syrup's just like taking over whatever that off-putting note is in it. But
here's my opinion on it.
I like it.
I do like to mix a few cocktails by no shape or form. Do I rival Steve the bartender or anything like that? Those guys are 100% professional. I watch them all the time to try to learn. But in my humble opinion, if you mixed an old-fashioned with a bourbon that you just didn't like very much and you used straight up simple syrup, I don't think that would help a lot. You want to impart some other flavor to this.
Yeah.
That's why I reached for the maple syrup, and Demerara syrup would then, in fact, also impart some other flavors to the actual cocktail. I actually have a crown syrup over there. That's the maple syrup with infused vanilla.
Ooh.
So something like that. Put a little bit more flavor in here. Do not try, my humble opinion, do not try to mix up an old-fashioned with a bourbon you just don't like, just with straight-up simple syrup, because you're just going to sweeten the bad bourbon. I think the bad bourbon is still going to come through. But honestly, if I was at somebody's house, I didn't see what they were mixing it with, and they served me this old-fashioned, I would drink it and be okay with it. I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, you used a bad bourbon for that.
I know. I think this is going to be an old-fashioned bourbon. Again, if you are out there and you're watching this and you like it, I'm really happy for you.
Right.
Just not something that generally jives with Kurt and I, or me and Kurt's palate. I failed English several times in high school. I know. We just go off the cuff, so I don't got anything planned when I'm talking.
Especially when you're tired, right?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm gonna give this to you. To use.
We're not done. We're not done, bro. We got something else to do here. Right? I know you're trying to. You see what he's doing here? He's edging it to the close.
What else do you have?
He's edging it to the close. Did you catch that? I got a couple more. Now, we're not going to do this, but of course you can add some of this to an infinity bottle. That's I think would be the common response for a lot of people. You can utilize it that way. But in fact, does it really help a bad bourbon to get better? No, you just got to add it. Yeah. So what I thought of we can do, you can look behind you. I will give you like 3 seconds to pick like a one of my bottom shelves type stuff here. Don't get any of my good stuff. Do not grab that puppy right there. Do not do it. I'm just going to add a little bit of bourbon that I like. That's not expensive, because you don't want to use something expensive, and add it to it as a blend. That's you, bud. I already know mine.
Wait, you already did yours?
Nope. I'm going to pick the Maker's Mark 101.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
So
I'm going to pick Maker's Mark 101. That's your baby bourbon.
Well, we poured water in this.
Oh, that's true. Let's get a couple new glasses. Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it right.
Yeah, something
You're
like
right
sweet.
about that.
Something sweet to help combat
let's do it.
Yeah.
This is my last one though, Trent. I'll be honest with you, this is my last one. This is my last thought of what we could do to make a bad bourbon better. So we're almost to the end. So
you think this would make it better?
You put that back. Are you out of your mind? He's got to be out of his mind. I tell you what, right now.
I could have done that because you weren't even paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention. I was rattling on. You poured that in there, I would have been livid. That'll come unglued. There you go. So you used Early Times Bottled and Bond, right? And I used Maker's Mark 101. 2 relatively efficiently priced bourbons. Let's see if that makes it any better. So in other words, what I'm coming up with here is a possible home blend. Something you might like. If you got a bad bourbon at home that you really don't like, maybe do a 50-50 blend with something, and it might perk it up a little bit to where, you'd be able to get through the bottle.
I thought I still had that like coffee frother that we did with that video to kind of help mix it up.
Yeah, I don't know where that went.
I lost it. I told Michelle I'd buy her a new one. I still haven't bought her a new one.
Hers?
Yeah, it was. I didn't tell her about it, and she.
Way to go, Trent.
Well, I
Way to go.
don't think I told her about it. But it came up like a month or so ago. She's like, "Hey, have you ever gotten me a coffee frother?" I was like, "Yep, it's on its way from Amazon." It wasn't.
Oh, don't ever do that.
I know, I'm terrible.
Yeah, don't lie like that. It's no good. You didn't even smell it. So to me, I don't get a lot of those notes that I was getting in on the aromas. I will say that.
It's more of like a sweet off-puttingness.
I personally don't mind that. Is that something I'd mix every night?
1-to-1?
Yeah, roughly. I
okay.
didn't measure it with a jigger or nothing like that, but I roughly did a 1-to-1 ratio. Honestly, don't mind that. It lends a little bit more of the woody notes to the Maker's Mark 101, but the 101 to me kind of helps it out. I don't mind it.
Yeah, this blend isn't good. I don't know.
One more sip for the show.
Try that one.
Okay, I will. Fresh palate here.
Bro, that's horrible. No.
Hang on, dude. What are you doing?
That's bad.
Oh my gosh.
I can't do that anymore. Please tell me that was the last one.
I don't like the early times. I could get by with the Maker's Mark 101. Okay, let's bring this to a close. I have to assume then it was pretty easy for me to, watch you during the show, what you liked or didn't like. So I'm pretty much thinking the old fashioned's your way to go, to utilize a bad bourbon that you don't like.
The old fashioned, and like I would have it with like a block of ice, but it's not something that I'm gonna be like, ooh, what do I want this afternoon? I'm gonna go with the Baby Hudson, and I'm gonna put a block of ice in it to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would, because an old fashioned is more of a drinkable thing. Mm-hmm. I have them every so often. It just makes more sense for that application. But I don't know. Are you in the same boat? Where are you at?
Not really. I personally, and I know we disagree a little bit, I think the old fashioned is the best way to go. Obviously, guys. If you have something that's really doesn't appeal to you, I suggest a little bit more sugar and using something flavored like a maple syrup or demerara. And I think you'd be good to go with an old fashioned. Honestly, that's the best way. I didn't mind this 1-to-1. If you really find something that you like I you know how I am about the Maker's Mark, especially the 101.
Yeah.
I mix with this a lot because it's a little bit higher proof too.
Sure.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that at all.
I'm happy for you.
So those would be my two preferred ways. And past that, I think over the block of ice, like you said, it's okay.
It neutralizes it. Just makes it like a...
Yeah, adding water, worse.
Yeah, that's not good.
No good. Don't try that.
I'd be curious if anybody has tried this at home, if they found something that works for them.
Please.
What the bottle was that you may have tried it with that you're just like, this isn't my favorite. Yeah. And then what you did to it and how it turned out, and if it's something that you go to regularly now or whatever the case may be. But thanks, Kyle, for the video idea. This was...
I loved it.
Something.
I loved it. I had a fantastic time.
It was fun.
It was. All right, that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Trenton, maybe not so much, but that's okay.
I'm going to bed.
We don't always have to cater to this guy. We don't have to, right? There we go.
Do we?
No, not always.
Good.
All right. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.